Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live Q&A in LA every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Got some stuff to talk about, some cool stuff with Ledger Live, so let's get started. All right, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Let's see, I've got my little chat window going over here. Grand Illusion from Idaho. Thank goodness. I was starting to worry that maybe I'd fallen into a vortex and no one was watching anymore. So nice to have you here for the moral support, Grand Illusion. Appreciate it. Let's go over here. All Polk is here. God, this guy is just cruising for a bruising. So I'm just going to hide him from my channel forever. Nice. Okay. All right. So what's this? Soon Kulik. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. Hey, Mr. David. Good to see you here. Betty, hello. Good to see you here. I want to go over to Keith now. Good to see you. I don't know what's got this. There we go. All right, so I'm back home again in front of my rig with my cool camera set up and everything, and my phone screen sharing app, which I tried desperately to get to work on my laptop when I was on vacation, and it just refused to work for me. I don't know what the problem was. But every time I would pull down the screen sharing on the phone and tap, screen sharing, it would just never find the laptop. So anyway, that's just a tech issue. I don't know what it was, but I'm back, right? I got everything, all my tools are ready to go. So Ledger Live just released an update, and let me see if I can find this. 2 words, I think. Oh, release. Yeah. Release notes. There it is. Yeah. Because I also discovered that when when you launch Ledger Live, you can always check the latest release notes, but you can't see the release notes history. I thought that you could. But you can find it on their GitHub site here. So this was the big news. Native SegWit is now available, which is a new format for your Bitcoin address. And then experimental ERC20 support, which is a really big deal. We've talked about this many times on the live stream. You could not before see your ERC20 tokens in Ledger Live, and now you can. So we can talk a little bit about that. That's going to be pretty cool. So let me just demo those. And then they have another thing that I always kind of made me irritated, that they didn't have a send max feature. All you could do was you had to fill in the amount you wanted to send. And if you put in your exact balance, it wouldn't send because you needed to hold some back for your network fees, right? And so you had to sort of shave the total down until you got most of it out, and then there was always a little bit of dust left, no matter how hard I tried. Maybe if I'd have just used a calculator, I don't know. But so now they have a send max feature, which allows you to send max. So that's pretty cool. So let's check it out. So Ledger Live, I've got it here now, and I'm in my Ethereum account. Let's move this out of the way. And so you can see that I have an Ethereum balance. But if you scroll down a little bit, you can see they've listed all my tokens. And they're all sort of, they're this light blue icon with the first letter of the symbol. Or the name, right? So they go down the line, and that's pretty cool. And then below that, you've got the transaction history. So, but you could never see your ERC20 tokens before in Ledger Live. Now, I have to let you know that this is an experimental feature. So I had to go over to my settings and over to experimental features, and I've enabled these two, experimental nodes and experimental core. And you do have to delete your Ethereum account if you already have one. So I've deleted it and re-added it. So and it took me a while to get it to connect to their servers. I started the video about 3 days ago when the update came out, and I could not get the Ethereum account to sync. Once I had enabled these features and deleted and tried to re-add, it wouldn't sync. It would give me a API HTTP 500 error or HTTP 501 error or something like that. Just it wouldn't connect. So it finally did it this morning when I was least expecting it. So I went ahead and finished the video. Let's see here. I posted the video this morning, how to use the new Ledger Live SegWit and ERC20 features in Ledger Live. So you can check out the step-by-step there if you want to. And then I also posted a video this week on Crypto.com, the iOS-based inner cryptocurrency exchange. So they've wanted to partner with me, so they're kind of like sponsors for me now. So I'm going to do a lot of videos concerning Crypto.com. Watch them if you want to, but it's very exciting because they are, one of the top cryptocurrency exchanges out there, and they're iOS based, and they got some cool and interesting stuff going on with their debit card, right? There's a lot of companies out there trying to do the crypto-based debit card that are having trouble getting accepted in certain countries and how they work and this and that. So Crypto.com has pretty good interface, and they're going to send me a card so I can demo how the card works and stuff. So that's going to be pretty exciting, being able to spend your crypto. And they'll let you earn a little money while you're storing your crypto on their exchange. I'm not a big fan of storing my crypto on exchanges, but who knows? Maybe I can try it out and see how it works for me. Okay, so everyone's joined. I was kind of worried there when I first started to launch the live stream. No one was waiting, and I was like, "Oh man, it's like no one wants to watch my live stream anymore." Parlay Cross, Heal Now, Francillo Tabik, Right On, Chicagoland, hello, My Channel 4, Hey Big Daddy, hello everyone from the UK, Shahid, of course, thank you for joining us again, Coppa Techno, Miguel, and LTC Perosi, of course. I like, he good use of emojis, and he's always a good cheerleader too. All right, so I'm glad you guys are getting to kind of know each other too. Sometimes I babble on and I look over and you guys are talking. So, she got those. Canceled the Felicia and took it. I'm taking Lucia's box and Samantha's back. Oh, by the way, thank you for not giving runs in the day. The latte got me really sick, but I'm good now. Glad to hear it. So I had a meeting with the drivers today in person. I hardly ever see them in person. So one of the drivers, Demetria, was telling me that the latte made her sick, so she didn't feel good earlier. Anyway, all right. So Jeff Loomis has a question about the ledger. We're actually talking about it right now. Now, this is the account interface. So what I've discovered is, and I don't know that you can, I guess you can do them like this too. That might be a little more organized. Ah, so when you, okay, so when you do them like this, they all show up, even the tokens, right? But when you do it in this format, if you click this little icon here, you'll get them in this format, sorted highest balance to lowest, and then there's a like a pull down for the ERC20 tokens. And then you can pull them down and look at them like that, which is cool. And then you can hide them, right? So that's pretty neat. Although, one thing I discovered when I was playing around with this interface is that you can't, like for example, this one is worth 1 cent. These are just worthless, basically. Maybe someday they might be worth something, but they're basically worthless now. And I really don't care to see them. I mean, I know they'll still be, in the Ethereum address, but I don't really need to see them, but I can't delete the account, right? The tokens, you can't hide or delete the account. Like, for example, if I don't want to look at my Digibyte anymore, I can just delete it, right? I can go over here and just delete it. It doesn't delete the wallet from the device, but it does take it out of the Ledger Live interface. So, but you can't seem to do that with the ERC20 token accounts. The only way to hide them is to delete the Ethereum account. And that's not really what I want. I just want to hide these last 4 that I don't really care to see. But, maybe they'll improve the interface as time goes by. But I do kind of like this a little better. I like that. You can, show it and hide it. But, I really don't need to see these empty ones down at the bottom. But there's no way to remove them or hide them. But not bad, though. It's a long time coming. And then there's the new Bitcoin native SegWit account support. And it has a new address format, BC1, at the beginning. So in the video, I explain how you move your Bitcoin into this new address format. You basically just create a brand new wallet or account, however you want to think of it. You create an account. It generates a new wallet with the new native SegWit address, and then you can move some Bitcoin in there. And I go through it step by step. It's basically just, you go add account, and then you hit Bitcoin. You enter your Bitcoin app, and then on the device, and then you choose to add Bitcoin, and it'll scan for, it'll scan for existing wallets, and it'll create a new one for you, right? So it's going to find all of the Bitcoin wallets that I've created ever since I've had this device configured. It'll find empty ones. They may be empty and balanced, but they've had transactions in them. So Ledger considers them active wallets, right? So it lists them as existing, right? But then they offer you 2 new ones, right? So you can create a normal SegWit account, or you can create the new native SegWit account, which is what I did before. And so I just left it named native SegWit just so that you could see. And then I moved my Bitcoin from my old account to the new one. It's just a matter of cutting and pasting the address in. And so now I've got my Bitcoin stored in a native SegWit account. So that's like Ledger Live news. That's good. Let's see what Jeff is talking about. I have a Ledger Nano X and I can't install LTC. It tells me to install BTC and ETH first, but I already have them installed. Okay, so when that happens, it does happen occasionally. Usually what's going on there is, in general, the LTC wallet depends on the BTC and the ETH wallet. I'm assuming, right? There's some code there that it's sort of borrowing, right, when it runs. So you have to have those 2 installed. Although I think I've tried to do it without either and I don't know. Let's just assume that, let's just follow the rule and say they need to be there, right? I think I've just done Bitcoin only in Litecoin and it worked. I think it just needs the Bitcoin. But here's the thing. If you have to have the latest version of the Bitcoin app and the Ethereum app. So what it's trying to do when you added Litecoin, it wants to install the latest version of the Litecoin wallet because you haven't installed it before, right? So it goes and grabs the latest version of Litecoin wallet. And your Bitcoin account, I guess we're talking about accounts here. Your Bitcoin account is not the latest version, right? So what you have to do is delete it, right? You're going to have to delete your Bitcoin account and then delete your Ethereum account, and then you'll have nothing, right? Or you might have something else, whatever. Then you would re-add the Bitcoin and then re-add the Ethereum, and then the Litecoin account will work, right? So I can go ahead and walk you through that. That's not a big deal, right? So we go to the Bitcoin account, we go up here to the wrench icon, and we choose delete, right? It just deletes the account. Does not destroy the wallet on the device. All right, and then we do the same thing for the Ethereum. We go to the wrench, we click delete, we confirm that. Now we don't have either, right? You know what? I'm thinking of you need to be in manager. This is manager. You're talking about the apps. Pardon me. I can add those back. All right, so I need to be at the home screen, right? And then I'll need to allow Ledger Manager. Oops. Right. God, horrible. All right. I got my chroma key on, so it looks funky. All right. All right. So when we allow Ledger Manager, then this. Okay. So I'm sorry. I know what I'm doing, but sometimes I get messed up. So we need to delete our Bitcoin app and our Ethereum app. And then, oops. Ugh. Right. Okay, so let's see if we can delete Ethereum. It might tell me it's needed too. All right, so I managed to do that. Now the Bitcoin app, it might not let me delete, right? Let's try. There may be some other apps on here that are depending on the Bitcoin app. Yep, that's what I thought. So, yeah, in my case, I'm going to have to go through and delete every frigging app that I have on here, and that's quite a few. I don't know if there's any way to just... I don't want to reset the entire device, right? I just want to delete the apps off of it. So, it's going to take me all night. I've got like 15 on here. Pooies. But that's what you have to do, right? You have to delete the Bitcoin app off the device. I don't think there's any way to just update it. It would be nice if you could. And the firmware isn't going to help you either. The firmware is like some other separate thing. It does have an effect on some of the apps. But if you're not running the latest version of the Bitcoin app, you've got to delete it and re-add it. And it also, but then if you've got other apps on here that depend on Bitcoin, you'll have to delete them first before it will allow you to uninstall and reinstall Bitcoin. So, but that's what you need to do. And once you've done that, once you've added the new Bitcoin and the new Ethereum, then your Litecoin should install fine, and then it will work. It's kind of a pain. It would be much easier if you could just update your apps in place, right? That you didn't have to delete them and re-add them. But I don't want to do it because it'll take too long. You know, you can see I've got like 15 different apps on here. So, but I'll go ahead and reinstall Ethereum. And in fact, you don't even need to uninstall your accounts to do that, right? If I were to uninstall and reinstall the Ethereum app, the accounts would still be there in Ledger Live and they would still show balances. So it got a little more complicated than we wanted, right? Let's go ahead and re-add the Bitcoin. So when you delete the app, the Bitcoin app, and I need to be in Bitcoin, right? When you delete the Bitcoin app from your device, you are in fact deleting the private key off your device. Sounds kind of scary. But the interesting thing is it doesn't really remember the wallet. It's mathematical. When you ask the Ledger to generate a Bitcoin wallet for you, it will always generate the exact same Bitcoin wallet every time. It's deterministic. So that means you can delete the private keys, and then when you re-add the app, it just generates the exact same wallet it did the time before. So it's sort of like there's a mathematical memory of that. All right, so I'm going to not to add all of these, and I am going to edit this one so that it just says Bitcoin native SegWit, hit add account, and there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and add the Ethereum account back. You'll notice all the ERC20 token accounts disappeared when I did that. All right, so let's add it again. And God help me, it may not find it because of that issue I was telling you guys about for a few days. I had some users tell me they had the same issue. So we might get to witness it here. I'm in the Ethereum app on my device, and I'll hit continue, and I'm going to let it scan. Now, it may very well not find the Ethereum app because of this HTTP server error thing. So, but it's no big deal for me. You know, I know the wallet's still there. There's no reason to panic. You haven't lost anything if it doesn't reconnect. I can always check my Ethereum balance from my Ether wallet anyway, so I'm not particularly worried that Ledger Live won't load the account. It's a little frustrating, but we'll get by. Oh, it found it! Yay! All right, so we got lucky. It found it. It took it a little longer than normal. Now notice you can see sort of behind here all the accounts, right? When I add this account, it's going to generate all those ERC20 token accounts too. There they are, 11 ERC20 tokens. Yeah. All right, and there they are, right back, same balance, same everything, no problem. So I hope that answered your question. Paper wallets are more secure, maybe not quite as easy to spend. Yes, the HTTP 500 error. Yes, I was getting that a while, and I was kind of thinking it would happen just now, but it didn't. I got lucky. So, but that's something on their end. It's possible it has something to do with you, with a slow internet connection, or something's not right. You know, your modem's off, something weird. But it's generally their fault, right? It's not your fault. Because you're obviously, you know, you're on the internet, you're looking at Ledger Live, everything else is fine, your balances are reading, and then when you go and try to add that Ethereum account with the experimental features on, it won't connect. But I found out also that if that happens, you can go back here to experimental features, disable these, and try to re-add your Ethereum account, and it works, right? So it has something to do with the new experimental ERC20 support, right? If you just disable those, you can re-add the Ethereum account right away. Pretty easy. All right, so I would like to go east down to 15 per your message. It's highway robbery, but nothing we can do. Yeah, I get a lot of people telling me about long holds on Coinbase. When I first started using Coinbase, it was kind of indirect. When I first installed the Ethereum wallet back in 2017, the standalone Ethereum wallet had like a Buy Ethereum Now button. And when you clicked it, it would sort of create a Coinbase account for you on the fly and purchase the Ethereum for you. And back then, the only thing you needed was an email and a debit card. That's all you needed to purchase on Coinbase. And I don't recall that I was on hold for very long. Now, I use the debit card option. And even now, today, the debit card option is much faster than that bank option. If you've got your debit card connected to your Coinbase account, it generally will give you an instantaneous purchase. But your weekly balance or your weekly limit is lower, right? You can't spend 10 grand on your debit card. If you connect your bank account, then it takes longer. But the reason for that is partly because it's highway robbery, but it's really more to the point, it's the way cryptocurrency works. A cryptocurrency transaction is a one-way transaction. There are no takebacks. So if they just willy-nilly let you have full access to your Bitcoin when you send a bank transaction, right? If you say, okay, I'm gonna purchase Bitcoin with my bank account, and they just give you the Bitcoin right away, you can move it into your own wallet and then call your bank and say, hey, cancel that, right? And then Coinbase is stuck because they can't get that Bitcoin back from you. And that is why they make absolutely sure that the money has confirmed and reconfirmed in their account, and that there's no way for you to call your bank and cancel the transaction. That's just the way it is. That's just the way Bitcoin works. There are no takebacks, right? It's a lot different than what we're used to. We're all kind of used to, well, I'm going to buy something, and then if I change my mind, I can take it back later. Or if I'm not happy with the product, I'll call my credit card company and reverse the charges. Or, we're all in this sort of gray area where you can buy things and take it back and decide you don't want it and return it. Well, Bitcoin doesn't work like that. Bitcoin is like a one-way, boom, buyer beware, seller beware. You really, once you spend it, it's spent. There's no way to get it back. So that's why Coinbase is so strict about their holds. Now, I don't know why they would need to hold anybody's bank transfer for 17 days. Is that what you guys said? 15 days. That's horrible. But, I mean, it's just the reality of the way Bitcoin works. I don't know. And like Betty said, as time goes by, they realize that you're a normal customer, you're not a scammer, and this is a regular thing for you. They will sort of ease that up a little bit. But the last time I did a bank transfer accidentally, like I usually use my debit card, it took like 8-9 days for the actual Bitcoin to show up in my wallet and be like spendable or transferable. And it was like, it pissed me off. I was like, oh man, I didn't mean to do that, because I always use the debit card. So anyway, I feel your pain, right? Let's go to news. There's some interesting news stories. The first one I'll do is it here? What am I doing? Whoops. Here we go. The first one I'll do is kind of a I'm not particularly crazy about this website, Cryptocurrency News. I don't know. It seems kind of fluffy. I don't know. But anyway, this article sort of sums everything up, the sentiment, although, it's sort of mainstreamish, the way the excuses that it gives or the explanations that it gives. But basically, it's talking about Bitcoin failing to hold on to the $10,000 mark. If you guys have been following the price of Bitcoin, it's been on a tear since April. And then I waited for a long time for it to break 10 grand, which it did last month, I guess, or a month and a half ago, whatever it was. And after it passed 10 grand, it sort of consolidated a little bit more, and then it shot all the way up to like 14,000, and then it dropped back down again. And then it was around 10 grand, it was okay, and then they say, well, it had a lot to do with Facebook's Libra announcement. And yes, there was some correlation. When Facebook announced Libra, there was a lot of renewed interest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general, and the Bitcoin price went up. And then Facebook's Libra was attacked from many sectors, right? And so by association, Bitcoin fell back. That's the explanation. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems to fit okay. So, and then Donald Trump said something about Bitcoin a few weeks back, which sort of made it go up a little bit, and then it went back down again. But the Treasury Secretary, Mnuchin, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. He's been really on a tear with Bitcoin. A couple days after Trump's comments, he said something else about Bitcoin, derogatory, and then just recently, he's bashed Bitcoin. And I had a great quote here. Well, I can't find it. I'm just going to open it up again, whatever it is. Yeah. So the U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin voices new pessimism about Bitcoin's future. And he said, I won't be talking about Bitcoin in 10 years. I can assure you, I would bet even in 5 or 6 years, I'm no longer talking about Bitcoin as Treasury Secretary. What does this guy think he's going to be Treasury Secretary for life? Won't he get replaced when somebody new comes in, when the Democrats come in? This guy thinks he's like, Treasury Secretary for life. So that's one thing you can read into this. Kind of funny. But he's been standing behind podiums, bad-mouthing Bitcoin lately. And, in the 2017, it was Nouriel Roubini, who's kind of a guy in finance and mainstream newspapers, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, But now we've got the Treasury Secretary of the United States publicly bashing Bitcoin on a fairly regular basis over the last month or so. And my thing is what would Shakespeare say about that? Shakespeare would probably say, methinks thou doth protest too much. I mean, why is he spending so much time talking about Bitcoin if it doesn't matter, right? I don't know. Maybe people are asking him about Bitcoin now more than they were before. But it just seems to me that it's like, if you really hate it that much and you don't think it's worth anything, then just ignore it, right? But he doesn't. And he keeps repeating the tired old trope, or whatever you want to call it, that it's used by criminals. He believes it's vulnerable to money laundering. We've been hearing this since 2017. Everyone knows that it's much easier to launder cash than it is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is traceable. That's just a really tired old argument. So I'm really surprised that the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America is still using that same old bash that people have been using for 2 years now. Nobody's buying it anymore. Bitcoin survived 2018, and now it's back. And there's institutional interest in it. There's a lot of adoption in the blockchain and Bitcoin industries and other cryptocurrencies. Just a lot of good news. People are taking it seriously. So for the Treasury Secretary to stand up there and bash it as if it were 2017 seems pretty weak to me. All right. Use Gemini. It's a better exchange. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Coinbase. Standard 3 days to clear sounds better. Most bank transfer, when you, and I'll point this out. If you use a bank transfer into your Crypto.com account, it only takes about 3 days. So check out that video I did on Crypto.com. It's pretty easy to set up a bank transfer to Crypto.com. You basically have to set it up on your end. You have to send money to their account. They give you the account information. And, your bank is going to send them 2 transactions less than 50 cents. And then you go back to your bank. When it comes into Crypto.com, you confirm with your bank that you saw the 2 transactions, and boom, boom, boom. You've got that pipeline now. So now I can just go into my banking app and I've created an external account. I just tap Crypto.com, and send them $100, and it's there in 3 days, and then I can buy it. It's not like Coinbase. Coinbase is like a pull, right? On Coinbase, you actually you make the transaction, you buy the Bitcoin, and then they go, okay, you bought the Bitcoin, but you can't use it yet until it clears through your bank. But with Crypto.com, you send the money first, and then once the money is in the account, you can buy the crypto that you want, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever. But it only takes like 3 days for it to get into your account and be spendable. So a little bit better, right? All right, so let's see some other news. Let's go through the news. I'm sorry I'm babbling a lot. So I love Minushkin's up there bashing Bitcoin now. That's great. Minushin. Haha. All right, so let's look here. There's some other cool stories. Oh, I like this story here. So Bill Miller, I'd never really heard of him before, but he's a fund manager, and his fund has surged 46% thanks to Bitcoin and Amazon. So he's manages portfolios for people, and he has attributed some of the growth of his fund to his purchase of Bitcoin, right? And it's really kind of interesting what he says about Bitcoin. He's not a Bitcoin believer, is what he says. I'm just an observer. But one of the main reasons that he uses Bitcoin is that it's not correlated to any other market, right? It's not. This is what he believes, and I see it too. It's not directly correlated to traditional markets. So if you're going to diversify your portfolio, right? You don't want to buy a bunch of stuff that's going to go up and down together, right? You don't want to just invest in stocks because they tend to sort of go up and down with the rest of the market in general. Not always, but in general. So, most people, they balance out stocks with bonds because bonds usually go up in value when stocks go down, and stocks go up in value when bonds go down. So if you've got both in your portfolio, then you've got a balanced portfolio. So he's adding Bitcoin and saying, well, because it doesn't correlate to any of the other markets, it's kind of a good hedge to just have in your portfolio. And he did pretty well with it. I guess there was a little volatility, surged up 39% and then dropped 29% the month before. So, but it's nice to see that people in finance are starting to take notice of Bitcoin as a real thing and invest in it for what it is, right? He's not a Bitcoin believer, but he understands that it does go up, and there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin, and he understands that it's volatile, and he also sees that it doesn't correlate with traditional markets, so he thinks it's a good thing to have in his fund. So pretty cool. I like that story. Let's go here. There were a couple other little things. Backed is backed in the news again. All right, Backed is now telling us they're going to launch in Q3 of this year, apparently. I'll believe it when I see it. We've been talking about Backed since 2017. They were trying to do a exchange-traded fund, and unsuccessfully, they've never been approved for an exchange-traded fund. But they've been doing their user testing since July 22nd, I believe. I'm not sure where that is. But they have opened their test trading desk with select clients. But apparently now they're trying to get some sort of approval from the New York Department of Financial Services for their warehousing service, where they're going to manage private keys. Cold storage, right? So they're still jumping over hurdles, and they're going, but we'll be operational in Q3, and like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. But they're kind of in the news again. Take what you will. And then our old friend Justin Sun. Come on, there we go. Justin Sun, the CEO of Tron, who he's always been kind of a controversial figure, and I'm never really sure how to take him, because he is kind of a marketing guy, right? And he does, a lot of people accuse him of pump and dump, and he does kind of hype, right? He does a lot of hyping, and Tron, the cryptocurrency Tron, does tend to move on stuff that he does hype wise, right? So I think the Tron did pretty well when he purchased BitTorrent. And then there was some other thing that he hyped and Tron went up. But the thing with Warren Buffett, right? He made the 4 million, whatever it was, $4.6 million contribution to $4.6 million contribution to the charity, and he won the lunch with Warren Buffett, and he made a big deal about that, and Tron, the price of Tron pumped up, and he was going to invite all these other crypto entrepreneurs to come with him to this lunch, and they were going to try to convince Warren Buffett that cryptocurrency was a good thing, and kind of educate him and change his mind and all this stuff. And then at the last minute, he pulls out and says he's got health problems and he can't go to the lunch, right? And there's all this speculation was he really sick, or was he being held prisoner in China, or, just all kinds of rumors swirling. And he's being accused of fraud, and he's not paying his bills to BitTorrent. I mean, he's just an all-around controversial kind of thing. And then he shows up at this party in San Francisco, like a couple of days after he said he had kidney stones. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to think of the guy. I would hope that I shouldn't have to really worry that much about the CEO of a cryptocurrency company, and that I would hope that their code is strong, their code base strong. I would much rather base my decisions on the robustness of their code base rather than the antics of their CEO. So take it what you will. Tron, I like Tron in the sense that it does appear to have a lot of energy behind it. They're constantly trying to make new deals and new partnerships, and they're constantly upgrading their code and their website and their TronScan interface. So they're always doing something, which there's a lot to be said for that, because there's a lot of coins that are kind of in the dead zone as far as development, right? There are some coins that, no one's posted like a GitHub update to the code base in like months, right? So Tron is always moving and changing. But, there's a lot of psychology in the market as well. So people notice what Tron CEO does and says, right? So just kind of a interesting, he's just an interesting guy. All right, I think maybe there's one more. I read this story today. Brave browser now lets you cash out the ad revenue the browser pays you. And then it says you have to identify yourself first and set up an Uphold account. I checked into that. I didn't notice anything in the Brave rewards that I could withdraw. I don't see it. I have an Uphold account connected to my Brave rewards for my YouTube channel and my affiliate, but my wallet, I don't see any way to withdraw anything yet. Maybe it hasn't actually gone totally live yet, or maybe it's just in beta or whatever. But that was kind of the biggest complaint that I would get on my Brave videos. They would go, "Oh, if you're being paid money that you can't withdraw, then that's a scam." And I was kind of like, well, it's not really a scam because it's not money you put in there, right? It's just money you earned by watching ads. So they want to keep it in the ecosystem. And I thought that they were going to allow you to purchase things in browser. But apparently they've got enough people complaining that they've decided that, okay, we'll let them withdraw it if they want to. It's only $20 worth of BAT every month. But even that, if that's what it takes to get people to use the Brave browser, and get paid to watch ads instead of getting spammed with ads. And you know, they don't track you. You know, they present ads to you that they think their algorithm thinks they'll be of interest, but they don't send any of that data back to their servers. So it's a new paradigm, and I hope it works out. I'd rather not get spammed with ads all the time that I just try to ignore. That's a dead ecosystem. Hopefully it will die an early death. All right. Okay, so that's the news, and I got a couple of things I wanted to show you guys. Calgapo, the Bass and Bruce, thank you. I noticed today that I was missing some ERC20 tokens. I was kind of like, hey, I remember I moved my ERC20 tokens into this wallet, and I was like, where are they? And then I determined that it was, in fact, this wallet, my Ethereum wallet. And as you can see, well, you don't know this, but there's two of them missing. And I was like, hey, what's going on here? And there's no way to add custom tokens here that I can find. It's not quite that advanced yet. So I went over to my Ether wallet, right? And I pulled up the, of course I'm going to have to redo this because I was out of it. I had switched apps. So let's go back into my Ledger wallet, right? Ugh, now it's doing this business again. Happens occasionally. All right, let me. All right. Oh, sometimes. Oh, it just suddenly started working. Okay, fine. I was gonna quit Ledger Live, but it worked. It's a miracle. All right, so I have a coin named Schwing, and it's like, I don't know if it's ever going to be worth anything, right? But it is a thing, right? It's still there, right? So if you go to their website, hard to find. Here we go. All right, so this is it. It's an Australian-based company that does blockchain product tracking, right? So based on the barcode of the product, it'll track the product from its origins. So if the product's been recalled, or if you want to see where it was sourced from, you can go into the grocery store and you can scan the barcode of products to get their history. So the products join Schwing, and then, and of course they had an ICO back in 2017, which I couldn't get in on. But then after it went on to a small exchange, I bought some. But it's never worth anything. But I know I have it and I don't see it. So what to do? All right, so let's take a look. So here it is. I've got all these coins, and I went all the way down to Schwing, and it's not there. It's not even listed here among the default coins. So what are we going to do? Well, we can go over here to ether.com, etherscan.io, and I thought I had pulled this up. All right, so there it is. See it? There it is. It is a thing. It is a coin. It does exist in the universe, right? And I know I have some stored in that Ethereum address, but it's not showing up in the list of tokens. All right, so when I pull it up in etherscan.io, I can get some valuable information about the Schwing token. I can get its contract address right here. I'm going to copy it. I can also get its decimals. And I can get its, they call it symbol, right? It's SPH. Where is the symbol anyway? Well, we know what it is. It's Sping, right? All right, so let's go to my Ether wallet. Let's choose custom tokens. We're going to add a custom token. And they want the token address. So paste that in there. I know that. The token symbol is SHPING, right? And the decimals is 18. All right, so let's see what happens. I'm going to click Save. And now I should see it in my list of tokens. Or should I? Maybe this is just going to be a bust. Oh, look, there it is, right there at the top, right? See, I have a bunch of it, right? It's not really worth anything, but it's at the top because it's the one that I hold the most of. So pretty cool. And I guess because it's custom, I could remove it if I want to, right? But I was kind of curious about that. I was like, what happened to it? Now, of course, it's not going to show up in Ledger Live, even though that's the same Ethereum address. I don't know how to make it show up in Ledger Live. But let's do that one more time, because I have a different one called SAT, right? So let me look up SAT. And you too, you may have bought something in 2017 that just never went anywhere. And it's so obscure that it's not even in the list in MyEtherWallet's default as ERC20 tokens. I don't know how many ERC20 tokens are out there, but there could be thousands of them. So it's SAT, and there it is, Social Activity Token. Right? So now I know some information about it. That's its contract address, and it only has 8 decimals. So let's go back to MyEtherWallet. Let's do another custom. Let's paste in the address. The token symbol is SAT, and the decimals is 8. And then let's hit save and see what happens. And there it is, SAT and 3150. So those are the correct balances. Now, although they're not, I blurred. Right. Although they're not worth anything really, I knew they were there. And I always just keep hoping that Sping will like rally to $1 a token or something. But I was going through some of my documentation and stuff, and I was like, hey, what happened to this Sping token? I moved it out of my Trust wallet on my phone over to this Ethereum address, and now it's not there, but I hadn't even thought about it in so long that I was like, hey, what happened to it? And that's it. That's how you do it. Would I buy Tron? I don't know that I would buy any more Tron. I'm just kind of like fed up with it, you know, because I thought that when I bought, I thought that when I bought Tron, that I was going to become a millionaire, and Tron would like go to $1 or $5 or $10. Tron was at 8 cents in 2017, and it can't seem to get up to 4 cents, even with this new crypto alt spring, right? But we won't talk about altcoins right tonight, right? Altcoins have been just getting hammered over the last month, just horribly hammered. The altcoins that I own are like back down to their 2018 levels. It's just horrendous, right? So I don't even know what's going to happen with the altcoin market. I'm assuming that it will recover at some point, but right now I'm trying not to think about it. So I wanted to show you guys, and I want to just do something here real quick if I can. I don't know if I can. Yeah, let me delete this here real quick. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to share my phone with you guys. I'm going to try to share my phone with you guys. Oh, okay. All right. And I'm going to move some Bitcoin with the Ledger Nano X using the Bluetooth option. I don't demo that much. I usually just connect it to the computer when I'm doing the live stream, so I thought maybe it might be an interesting exercise, right? So what I want to do is I want to move some Bitcoin from my Crypto.com account into my Ledger Nano X, right? And so we'll go ahead and disconnect him, right? So we've disconnected him. Nothing up my sleeve. I'm going to enter my PIN. Ugh, doggone it. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to change the setting on my phone. Yeah, when the when the phone goes to lock screen, I get that black. So I basically just need to tell it not to go to lock screen. So the phone gets a little hot, but that's okay. All right, so now we've got the phone ready. I've got the ledger ready, and I might have to set the phone down while I'm in the middle of this. All right, so I'll go over to Crypto.com, and I'm just going to show you that there is some Bitcoin in here. If I go to my crypto wallet, you can see down there that I've got $51 worth of Bitcoin, right? And if I tap right on that Bitcoin, you know, there it is. That's, well, where did it go? I thought I had Bitcoin balance in there. It was there. It just doesn't seem to be refreshing right. Well, it says it's there. It was there. It told me that my deposit went in early because I put some in there ahead of time. Anyway, we'll just act as if, right? Because I'm pretty sure it'll be there when we go to withdrawal. Let's hope so. All right, so I'm just going to do everything from the phone, right? So I'll go back over here to Ledger Live, the Ledger Live app, right? And then I want to go to my accounts. What's going on there? Okay, everything seems to be okay. So I've got this Bitcoin native SegWit account that we talked about earlier with that new address format. So I'd like to see if Crypto.com will support that format. So I'm going to go into the Bitcoin account, and I'm going to do a receive. And I'm going to receive it on my Ledger Nano X. So now the phone, whoops. All right. So now the phone is like, okay, you want to use your Ledger Nano X? So I say, yeah, I do. So I tap it. Now it's telling me I need to connect my Ledger and open the Bitcoin app. So actually, I think it's already open. Oh, no, that's the Ethereum app. Okay. All right, so we want to go over to Bitcoin. I know this thing is kind of... All right. We want to go to Bitcoin and hit both buttons. And notice when I do that, that it connects, right? The phone connects and says, oh, I see you open the Bitcoin app on your phone. Now it's ready to go, right? So I'm going to hit continue. And now it wants me, does it want me to confirm? Oh, yeah. See? Whoops. It's even showing me the address on the device. I know, this is messed up. It's not focusing right. I gotta connect that other camera. But that's it. That's the device. That's the address. So that's the security, right? It's showing me the address on the device that I want to send to. And I'm looking on my screen. Right? So now I'm just going to copy the address into my clipboard by tapping it. I'm going to tap it on my phone. Right? It says address copied. Now I'll slide back over to Crypto.com. And I'm going to do a send, right? So I'll tap send there at the top. And I want to do a withdrawal. And there I've got a withdrawal whitelist. And I have a Binance address on there. So I'm going to tap plus. And then I'm going to tap and paste that brand new shiny Bitcoin address. And I'm going to put Ledger X. All right, so now they're going to send me an email. to confirm that address. There, the email just came in. I'll tap that. I'll confirm that withdrawal address. Gotta open my browser, and then it should relaunch the app. Ah, I've already confirmed that address. See, I had no idea that was going to happen. I had it in there before, and then before we started this whole mess, I deleted it so I could show you guys me adding it. So now, I don't know if I can add it back. I don't know. It's acting weird now. Okay, that was totally unexpected. I'll have to call them about that. Okay. Okay. That's weird. Now, see, now it's showing in there. Huh. Yeah, it's weird. I guess it's not going to, like, re-add it for me. Well, I don't know. Can I generate a brand new See, I can't even get out of this. Oh, it wants me to confirm on the device. Okay. All right. So I had to confirm on the device. Okay. So, geez, I don't know if there's any way to manually generate a brand new receiving address. Let's see if I can do it. Ah. This is bum. This is bum. All right. Well, I know what I can do. If I must. Which I'm not that crazy about it, but I will. Kind of messed me up. Crypto.com. I'll add a new account. Ugh. Actually, I can do it on the phone, I believe. Let's try that. Why not? Let's add a new Bitcoin account on the phone. And please go away. Alright, I'll just start it over. Let's do that. Let's go to accounts and let's tap add new account. Let's add a new Bitcoin account from the Ledger. Right? And the Ledger is already in the Bitcoin app. So, oh, God, you guys can't even see this. Bumski. Ugh. Oh, gone it. Pooies. I'm just going to start the whole thing over. All right. Okay. Wow. All right. All right. Well, let's try that again so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to add account, add Bitcoin, Ledger Nano X. All right. And then it's going to sync. It should find a bunch of Bitcoin accounts that were already on here, right? It found that 0 Bitcoin. It found this Bitcoin 2 SegWit. That's an old one. Oh! Ledger Live phone does not support generating the new Bitcoin native SegWit accounts. See, you learn something new every day. All right, so let's stop. Cancel. Oh, confirm the cancel. Okay. Let's reconnect it. Oh. Now they got me pissed, right? I'm not going to stop till I get this done. All right. So we'll do 7. Giving you my PIN. All right. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, let's go back to let's get this guy out of the way. Let's go back to Ledger Live. let's go ahead and add another account. Let's add another Bitcoin account. Let's hit continue. All right. All right. Now, you'll notice that Ledger Live Desktop will support the new native SegWit account. Right? It should find those two empty ones, actually. Right. See, there's two empty ones on there. All right, and then it's asking me if I want to add a new one. The other one is already in there, native SegWit. Oh Lord. Oh, but that's okay. I can handle it. All right. So I don't want this one. I want a native SegWit account. I only need one of them, and I'll call this one. I don't know. Crypto.com. I don't know if I can do that or not. Let's see. That's kind of a long name, but it's there, right? Now I want to get it on my phone, right? So we can use it in this phone-only transfer. So I'm going to go over here to the settings. I'm going to go to accounts. I'm going to go to export accounts, and it's going to give me this crazy QR code. So now I go to accounts, I hit plus again, and instead of add accounts down at the bottom, I'm going to tap import desktop account. Then I'll scan it, and I have to hold it up there for a minute while it's scanning, and then boom. Now it has that new native SegWit account. All right, so let's go back to where we were. I'm going to hit import. Let it sync. It's going to be empty. But now I have an unused SegWit address that Crypto.com has never seen. So I'm going to hit receive. Ledger Nano X. I'm in the Bitcoin app. Oh, even though it's connected to the computer, it still senses. That's cool. Didn't know it would do that. There's my new native SegWit address. I'm going to hit copy address. Now let's go back over to Crypto.com. That's empty. All right. Let's edit and delete that. All right. Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning. We'll go to our empty Bitcoin account. It's so weird. We'll hit send. See? They tell me it's there here, but not... Okay, whatever. All right, so I'm going to try it anyway. All right, let's tap and paste. And we'll call this one Ledger X2. I don't know if I can ever get that old one back, the first one. Whatever. All right, now they're going to send me an email confirmation. All right, let's confirm that. And this time, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so there. That's that second one now. Now my question is it going to let me withdraw this Bitcoin or not? All right, so I'm going to tap the amount. No. Oh, there it is. See down there? It says send max. That's the amount of Bitcoin that I have, right? Max it out, and then I'm going to hit send. All right, and then I'm going to confirm that. I'm going to Face ID, and the request has been submitted. Tap anywhere. All right, so then they've got my received my withdrawal request, and it should end up in our Ledger Nano X interface on the app, right? So we should be able. Boy, that was like pulling teeth, wasn't it? And I still can't get this to go away. I don't. Oh, it's because I haven't confirmed the address yet. All right, so I'll do that. All right, and then it will allow me to close this. All right, and then we'll go back All right, so it wasn't as pretty as I was hoping. I don't know what this is all about. That total's all messed up. Yeah, that total is just off. Oh, probably because I didn't add that SegWit, right? I can slide this. How can I? I added the empty SegWit, but not the other SegWit. Oh no, that's up there. Well, that's not right. Maybe I lost all my Bitcoin. No, it's there. It's there. So there's still a little bit of disconnect between the phone app and the desktop app. I don't know why it's like reading the native SegWit account as only $200. It's kind of weird. Now, I did send $200 worth of Bitcoin into it earlier, so maybe it just disconnected from the app. I don't know. You guys are probably going, oh my God, why would I ever buy Bitcoin? Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. How do I get rid of these? Oh, you have to go into it like this and then hit the gear icon and then remove it. Right. You can do that with this. Ugh, you still can't. Alright, guys. Sorry. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out why these accounts aren't totally synced right. So I'm going to hit the account, hit the gear, and delete it. Alright. And I might try to sync one more time to see if I can get it to sync. Why don't we go ahead and try it while we're waiting for the Bitcoin from Crypto.com to come. We'll try that export one more time. Although it just doesn't appear to be doing it the right because of the whole SegWit thing, right? Let's try it again. Okay, so there it is. So I can click import, and you'll notice it didn't try to re-import the ones that were already in there, right? So, it still says it's only... That's really weird. Okay. C'est la vie, it's not working right, so I'll just take it off. Doesn't matter. It's reading right on the desktop version. I might need to. That's the thing. They don't have support for the new address format in here or the new account format. Although you can sort of get it, like you saw, I exported it to this one, and you can also see that the new, that it arrived. Right? I just received it from Crypto.com a few minutes ago. Now, Crypto.com said it was worth $51, and the Ledger Live app tells me it's only worth $45. I don't think I lost $5 in transaction fees. I think that they're just calculating the market value of this Bitcoin differently. I could be wrong. But, So it arrived. Although it was kind of weird when I deleted that saved address and then tried to re-add it, it wouldn't let me re-add it. That was kind of a disappointment. So, but I'm putting them through their paces, right? Someone was commenting on a video from 2017. Looks like it, right? All right. So that was exasperating, wasn't it? I see there's a question about running a full node, which I have one. I have a... let's take a look at it. Why not? I think I can show it to you guys. If it's still operational, let's find out. All right, so we're going to go over to my... what is this thing? Casa. So I have a Casa full node running, but is it even on? Yes, it appears to be on. Go to Casa node. All right, so let's try that. Oh, that never works. Right. I think I have it here. Here. Casa node. Yes. When I use this link with the actual address, it tends to work. When I just use the Casa node address, it doesn't work. I can't really show it to you. Well, let's see if it even connects or not. I'd be surprised if it does. After all this time. Yeah. Okay. I might need to reboot it. Eesh. Oh, Lord in heaven. Eesh. I see the problem. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Oh, wow. All right. Wow. I had to crawl around under my desk. The network connection had come out of it. Let me see if I can. It may not ever work. My God. Let's try it again. This is crazy. It's just been a crazy night. Let's see if it works. It should at least take me to like the login screen. Okay. Nah, it's just not cooperating with me tonight, is it? I will try one last thing. I'm going to disconnect the computer down here. Jesus. Wow. That's some crazy stuff. Alright, so let's try this app again. See what happens. I don't think it really needs to reboot. It might need to reboot. The network cable had come unplugged from it. Let's tell everybody what I'm talking about. Everybody's like, what in God's name is he doing? A Casa node is a little box that you buy that runs a full node, right? A lightning node. And I just bought one for the heck of it and been playing around with it. I've actually haven't done this membership thing yet. I was gonna do a whole video on it, and then I like had some trouble with it, and I was just kind of like, eh. I think I even started to record a video, and that part never worked, but this part would sort of work. Maybe if I just reboot it, because it doesn't appear to be. Yeah, I'll just reboot it. Which I should have done a long time ago. But anyway, in a few more minutes we'll talk about the Casa node. But I have one, and I believe there's even some Bitcoin in it. Might be. But I do have this blue wallet. You could check this one out. I'm always playing around with stuff. If you go over here to this blue wallet, the blue wallet is a Lightning node, and I have to enter my frigging password, which is crazy. It does not support Face ID. All right. Can't believe I actually remembered that password. Okay, so let's see. I've got a Lightning wallet, right? See, I got like 80 bucks in the Lightning wallet. So basically, when you set up the blue wallet, it creates, you move some Bitcoin into it, and then you create this Lightning node wallet, and then you can move some Bitcoin into the Lightning node wallet. And then with the idea being that at some point you can purchase things using the Lightning Network. It's a different way. So like say you receive, doesn't, and this wallet isn't particularly functional. If I send, Lightning addresses are completely different from Bitcoin addresses. And I actually tried to send this Lightning to the Casa node and just totally failed. It didn't work right. I think that was part of why I gave up on making the Casa video. I was just like, I can't figure out how to make this Lightning network work. I just have to do some more research. All right, let's try this. Still not. All right, not working. Never gonna work. Not working. I know that someone's asking me about A for effort. Thank you. It's gonna work. I don't know. There's a lot of like things going on under my desk, so I'm not really sure why the Casa node just refuses to work. It was working for a while there. So I don't know what happened. But A for effort. So someone's asking me if I'm familiar with the Bitcoin core code. I'm not really. I know a little bit about how Bitcoin works, but I don't know really any of the underlying code. I think it's written in C. I believe the Bitcoin code base is written in C. Yeah. Bitcoin Core is the actual code that runs. I'm not sure where the Bitcoin GitHub is. Maybe we could try that. So this is where the code lives on GitHub. I'm pretty sure it's written in C or C++. I could be wrong though. It might not. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from here. Maybe YML. Oh, that's GitHub kind of stuff. I think it's written in C. I guess we could look at it, but I'm not going to. But no, I don't know there's much I could answer about the code itself. His flubs help me. My flubs, yeah. So, I mean, I'm doing this stuff live. You know, when I'm doing them on, you would be surprised about the hours and hours of recorded video that I've just thrown in the can. You know, when I'm trying to do a video on getting from point A to point B, and I get to like in the middle somewhere and things go wrong, I just like, that video's not gonna go. Sometimes I'll even finish the video and then decide not to post it because it wasn't smooth or whatever. But there's lots of hours of recorded video that never sees the light of day. And I will add this to that. There are hours and hours of attempted recorded video of things that I was doing thinking I was recording myself, and then after like 20 minutes or half an hour, I look over and I see that I'm not recording. And I was like, oh! Sometimes I'll be moving Bitcoin around and doing all kinds of stuff, and then I'll look over and see that I forgot to hit record. Like sometimes I'll stop recording so I can do something, take a break or whatever, or get something straight. And then when I try to continue the video, I forget to hit record. And then, so, I mean, there's hours and hours of wasted, effort that never got recorded at all. And then there's a lot of that thought of it that got recorded and never edited. And then there's a lot of stuff that I even edited to a certain point and then just never posted. So yeah, there's a lot of hours of effort and recording behind all of the videos that actually make it to my YouTube channel. And of course, when I'm doing this stuff live with you guys, you see me flub all the time, right? You guys are used to it. Yeah. There was, well, that 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, July 5th, when the live stream was cut short, that was not because of the earthquake. The power got cut to my building during the live stream, and then I sort of went along on my phone, and then we went to go get something to eat, and the earthquake hit. So the cutoff of the live stream on my desktop was unrelated to the earthquake, but it happened within hours of the earthquake. It's kind of weird. Reset modem and wait, then take a shot of tequila and wait again, then it will work. I might need to reset the modem. That could be. I just like unplugged the box and replugged it. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to work tonight. It would be nice. It's this weird, funky little loop. Holy moly, there it is. What do you know? All right, so now I need to log into the damn thing. All right, so I have to do this. All right, and that's the Casa node password. And sign in. And lo and behold, there it is. The Casa node in all its glory. Now, I think that it was fully synced before, so but it might need to resync now. It's been a while since I've actually looked at it, but it has always been running. So to my knowledge, it has been syncing all this time. But then again, the network cable came out. So what happened? For all of you nerds out there. Not every like some network cable, it's like a phone cable jack, right? There's this little knob on it, this little flange that clicks when you plug it in, sometimes the little flange breaks off, right? So, but the cable is still usable. You can still push it in to a Ethernet port, but it's not locked in. So if you move it or whatever, the cable will just fall out. So that's what happened to the Casa node. It was underneath there on top of something else, and it must have got moved because the cable had fallen out. So it was not syncing, right? So it hasn't, I don't know how long the cable's been out, but long enough for now it's going to take it a while to like sync up to the current state of the Lightning blockchain and the Bitcoin blockchain. So as you can see, the Bitcoin node and the Lightning node are still kind of syncing. They might need to catch up like a week or two. I don't know how long it's been unplugged. But what was the original question about the Casa node? Someone was asking me about a Casa node. Troubleshooting. Hey, look at that! It's syncing! Isn't that great? T.O., have you done a video on running a full node? Been looking for the best video tutorials on that. That would allow you to check the blockchain manually. Well, I don't. You may not have even been talking about a Casa node, but technically a Casa node is a full node. But in the old days, when I first got into Bitcoin, most of the wallets out there were full node wallets, and I used the Armory wallet, which was a total full node Bitcoin wallet, and it would download the entire blockchain to your computer, and it was slow. It took a few days. So I think I did a few videos. I don't know that I did any videos on Armory. I think when I first started doing videos, Electrum Bitcoin wallet was available, and Electrum Bitcoin wallet is a light Bitcoin wallet. It doesn't download a full node for each wallet. It just queries full nodes on their servers so that you don't have to. It's so impractical to download the entire Bitcoin blockchain to your computer. It really is. But it is robust in a way. If you've got a wallet that will download the entire Bitcoin blockchain to your computer, then you're basically running a full Bitcoin node, right? Now this Casa node thing, I guess it actually contributes to the Bitcoin network by running a full node, right? So let's see. How much? Let's see. 581,630. So it's down by around 5,000 blocks, right? So, but that could take a while. And then the Lightning node is probably down quite a number of blocks too. But when you first plug it in, it takes forever to sync. So, but that's it, right? This is a Casa node, and I showed you it's just this little box, and it's basically a Raspberry Pi in a case, is what it is. And then you get this weirdo cable that like connects to there's a hard drive in there. It connects to the hard drive and then loops back into itself and plugs. It's weird. It's like an external hard drive that's internal. So it's kind of weird. And then it has a power cable. It plugs into the wall. And then it has a network port where you plug in a network cable and it connects to the internet and it syncs up and it runs a Bitcoin node. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But there's nothing in it yet. I haven't figured out how to get anything into it. I could probably send some Bitcoin proper to the Bitcoin part of it, but I was trying to send from the blue wallet to this thing, and it didn't work, so I gave up. Send some bat, right? I'm the Batman. I get some people, they watch my Brave video, my Brave browser video, my Bat videos, and they like beg me to tip them. They're like, tip me! With, like exclamation point. I'm like, I don't think that's the point. The whole point of the tip is not to just beg other people to tip you. But I do. I get a lot of I see my YouTube comments on my phone, and people, it'll just pop up. It'll go, tip me. I'm like, come on, dude, really? I am moving to Michigan next week, so we gave notice at the beginning of July. So our intention is to move out at the end of July, so I don't have to pay rent here anymore, right? We found the place in Michigan. We gave them a deposit, and after we load our pod, they'll come pick up the pod on the 31st. And it's going to take them like 8 days to get it to Michigan. So we're going to drive my car and my wife's car, and we'll take a cross-country tour about 8 hours a day. We're going to go see Mount Rushmore. We're going to take the ferry across Lake Michigan, which is pretty cool. I didn't even know there was one until I did a... let's try that. Let's try home. Now you know where I live, but not for long. And I wanted to try to figure out, let's say, let's just put in a random address, right? All right, so I'm going to take that address, that destination, if I can hone it on. I need more room here. Okay. All right, I'm going to take that destination, and I'm going to drag it over to Michigan and watch what happens. Boomity, 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 boom. Holy moly, it didn't do it. Oh, let's take it up a little bit, right? We want to go see Mount Rushmore, so we brought it up to Mount Rushmore, and look what happened to the path. It went right across Lake Michigan. And I'm like, how is that even possible? And so then I did, there it is. The Lake Express ferry across Lake Michigan. About 2.5 hour ride from Milwaukee to Muskegon, Michigan. So we're going to do that. So I'll be in a hotel next Friday, most likely, and I'll have my laptop, so I'll do the live stream from wherever I am. It would be really cool if I could have Mount Rushmore in the background while I was doing the live stream, but I think we'll be past Mount Rushmore by the time Friday rolls around. Maybe not. Maybe we won't be there yet, but that would be pretty cool. Maybe from my phone, right? I can up to Mount Rushmore, I'll do a quick live stream and say, CryptoDad live from Mount Rushmore. We'll see. And then I can do another one from my phone on the ferry. Keep you guys up to date. So we've gotten way off topic. Yes, Tio is correct. You can store bits of data in the blockchain. You can actually write something to the blockchain. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to do it. I would assume that anyone can. I don't know if you've got mining software and you're creating blocks. If you get the block reward, then I guess, or maybe within a single transaction you can write some data, and then that data could get added to the block if it's part of a transfer. But I don't know how to write the data into the block of a transaction. Might be a little tricky. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, he's talking about validating your own transactions instead of trusting a third party. Pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I should do more research on the Casa node so I can be a little more savvy about how it works and all that good stuff. Want a tip by Theta. I like Grand Illusion. Grand Illusion loves Theta. He must have some. Or he must just believe in it. What happens to my job when I moved? I talked to my boss. She said she is willing to let me continue doing what I do because most of what I do is over the phone and on the internet. I use QuickBooks Online to do invoicing, which can be done from anywhere. And I use Paylocity website to do payroll. So I can do all of that from my computer on the internet, so it doesn't really matter where I'm at. The only thing is I can't jump in the car and do a run if we get really busy. So I'm gonna have to, have an extra backup driver. And then I talk to the drivers about weekend stuff. Sometimes the owner of the company wants us to do weekend stuff, and sometimes I can't get the drivers to do anything on the weekends, so I do it myself. It's good money. So I talked to him today. I said, look, man, I'm going to ask everybody to do a weekend run if one comes up, but if everyone says no, I'm going to have to ask somebody to do it. It's just part of life, right? Okay. Have a safe trip home. And the drivers were okay with that. I mean, because they're making a lot of money. One weekend run from Encino to Century City, which is usually about where that's like a $300 run on the weekend. And the driver gets half of that. So, I mean, if it's Sunday and you're just hanging around, and I call you up and say, hey, can you go pick up a binder at the office and take it out to the lawyer's house for $150? I mean, and it only takes you like an hour to drive over there. On Sunday, there's no traffic. So, I mean, it's not like I'm asking you, it's not like you're not getting paid. You're going to get paid really good money, but just some of the drivers don't like to work on the weekends. Who does, really? Right? I had no idea Milwaukee was on the lake. That's cool. Neither did I, really. I didn't know Milwaukee was above Illinois. I always thought Illinois was at the top near Canada. But as we can see, where are we there? Yeah, Wisconsin is above Illinois. See, I don't know why I thought Illinois was at the top of the map. See, you learn something new every day. Yeah, so pretty cool. Yeah. And then my dad said, oh, well, there's a ferry from Chicago too. And I was kind of like, yeah, but the whole thing about the Lake Express is you avoid all that Chicago traffic if you go through Milwaukee. So I don't know. Of course, Dad always wants you to, wants to help, of course. That is the true power of Bitcoin. You can store something on the blockchain forever, even write small programs that spread across the diff TX, then have an external program scan the chain to run the program. That's some deep stuff. But he's right. The Bitcoin blockchain, the ledger, is immutable, and it lasts forever, right? It's not going anywhere, because each block is there's a hash. Well, we call it a hash. It's like a long, complicated number. Each block contains the hash of the previous block. So there's no way that anyone can go back and alter a previous block without alerting all of the blocks that come after it, right? So it's in what they call immutable ledger, right? Immutable means cannot be changed. Right? That's the beauty of the blockchain. So, Tio was talking about embedding something in part of the blockchain and using it down the road to launch some kind of external program, and it'll just be in there forever. So it's quite an interesting concept. Yeah. Yeah, everybody tells us that it's going to be cold in Michigan. I'm from Indiana originally. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, so I'm used to cold weather. I didn't live in it most of my life, but I've lived a few winters. But the cost of living is less than half of what it is in LA. I mean, everything is higher in LA. The rents are higher, gas is higher, food is higher at the grocery store, restaurants are more expensive. We went out with my cousin in Fort Wayne to a Mexican restaurant, and we all had something to eat, everyone in my family, and our bill was $46. And I looked at it and I was like, my God, the last time we went out for Mexican food in LA, for the four of us, it was like $70. It's like just everything is more expensive in LA. It's just like swimming against the current. So for us, it's kind of a relief. We're happy to make a new start. And, we've wanted to try a change of climate. You get bored with perfect weather all year round. Really, you do. LA is like, it never rains. It never snows. It's just like, gets boring after a while. You just take it for granted. It's always sunny. Not always sunny, but, it's just, there's never any variety in the weather. You get bored with that after a while. So anyway, now you know my life. Move to Minnesota. Try Hawaii. Yeah, I would like to try Hawaii. My nephew lived in Hawaii for about 6 months to a year. He was working on some kind of green project, and they provided him room and board, but not a lot of extra money. But he enjoyed it, and he went surfing a lot. So, yeah, I'd love to visit Hawaii sometime. I should have known that Wisconsin was above Indiana. I've been to Wisconsin before, so I should know better, right? It just kind of, when I noticed Milwaukee was above Chicago, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Didn't quite get that. But now I do, right? Now that I'm moving to Michigan, I'm going to be geographically savvy about all of the northern Midwest states from now on. I didn't realize that Canada came down and touched Michigan like this. Whenever you look at a map of the United States, this part of Canada is kind of like dimmed out. So it just looks like, if you're looking at just a map of the United States, it looks like Michigan just sticks out on its own. But when you look at a real map, you can see that Canada, there's this, if you even want to call it a peninsula, there's just this piece of land that comes and actually touches Michigan. Boy, Tio is on it tonight, man. Yeah, a hash is the result of a hash function, which I like to talk about it for newbies or laymen, or however you want to call it, as a mathematical transformation, right? We can talk about functions and people don't quite get function, but when you just say it's a mathematical transformation, right? You take some data, you push it into a mathematical transformation, a bunch of math happens, and then a number pops out the other side. And a mathematical transformation can be adding 1, right? I put in the number 50 and the number 51 comes out. That's a mathematical transformation. So a hash is much more complicated, right? You put in the number and it shifts and it moves and it multiplies by a bunch and does all this stuff, and then a number comes out. But the point of a hash function is if you alter any of the data in any way or form, you're going to get a completely different hash on the other end. So it's a way of verifying that something has not been altered. It does a lot of other stuff too, but that's how it gets used on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Can I have some more milk? Can I have some milk?
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. This guy. Ugh. Hey, look at your shirt, dude. Why are you sticking your tongue out?
I don't know.
You don't know? He loves to tell riddles. You got lots of good riddles, don't you? Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm a little over tonight, so we'll go to this. Don't forget, next week I've got the same live stream Friday night who knows where I'll be. So check in and throw out any questions that you may have or any information that you would love to share with everyone else. That's always great. Tio, thanks for joining. Everyone else that's always here like clockwork, I appreciate you more than you know. All of the new people that came in tonight as viewers and commenters, I'm sorry if I missed one of your questions, but you're my lifeblood. I appreciate you. So check me out next week. I'll be on the laptop again. And then when we get to Michigan, we'll get everything hooked back up again. It'll be great. Right? If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.